This is where we're physically crushing the grain to get it as small as possible to get sugar. And so we're using half-ton super sacks, and we're also using our specialty grain that comes in 55-pound bags. And we're gonna put it in our mill and mill it down. Actually, it's coming through a disc chain system. The grain gets dropped down into the mill where this is actually where we're crushing it. This is the holding tank. This is where the grain is gonna be held until we're ready to brew. We're usually doing it the day before to make the brewing process of the day of brewing much easier. This is the mash tun. What we're doing is the grain is coming down through the disc chain system. We're adding water over here and we're mixing it all together, and we're just chemically chopping the sugars down in smaller pieces so the yeast can eat it. Right. So this is the lauter tun. The grain is going to come from the mash tun to the lauter tun, and what we're doing here is we're actually just going to be adding more water and getting all of the sugars out, the liquid component out. We are now transferring from the lauter tun over to the boil kettle. This is where we're actually boiling the wort, and we are just boiling it, and depending on the beer, we're adding hops at different times and making the beer. We have a steam stack so that the steam can vent out to the outside, and it smells really nice. So this is the whirlpool. We're transferring from the boil kettle after the brew is done to the whirlpool. We're also adding hops in at this point. We are also spinning the beer to get as much of the particulate matter out as possible. So your extra hops, your trub, your proteins, we don't want that in the final product, so we try to leave it in here. So this is the heat exchanger. What we're doing here is we're taking it from the whirlpool down through the heat exchanger, and we're cooling the beer down from 210 degrees to about 65 in one shot. And this is how we're able to take it down before we can add the yeast in. So this is the fermenter. What we're doing is we're adding the yeast at this stage. After we bring the beer down, yeast is going to then eat the sugars in it, and it's produce CO2 and alcohol. And then it's transferred over here, which is the bright tank. And this is where the finished product goes. We're then adding CO2 on it so that we can have the proper carbonation level so that the beer is not overcarbed or not undercarbed.